Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're Backyard Musings in the Backyard, Apple Valley, People's Republic of California.
And we're talking earthquakes again.
Follow up. So, we warned you this morning. We did another one.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating. I always say that. The analysis of
because it is.
It is. The analysis of the earthquake swarm around Santorini reveals the origin and development of the seismic crisis. At the start of 2025, the Greek island of Santorini and its surroundings were rocked by tens of thousands of earthquakes.
That's a lot.
Tens of thousands. A new study in Nature, published on September 24, 2025, from the GFZ Helmholtz Centre for Geosciences and GEOMAR Helmholtz Centre for Ocean Research Kiel, conducted with international partners, now offers the first detailed geological explanation of the seismic crisis.
So Kiel is a city, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So does that mean that they have more than one of these? Is there maybe one in another?
The lab, you mean?
Yeah, maybe there's another lab someplace else.
Maybe. Would you like to know more?
By combining measurements from land-based earthquake stations with data collected by instruments on the seafloor near the Colombo underwater volcano, which is about 7 kilometers from Santorini, researchers applied an advanced AI-supported technique to pinpoint earthquake activity. Their analysis shows that nearly 300 million cubic meters of magma, that's a lot, rose from deep within the crust and stalled roughly 4 kilometers beneath the ocean floor. As it traveled upward, the magma fractured surrounding rock, producing thousands of quakes and tremors.
This is what we talked about this morning, the fracturing and the heat. Thousands of degrees Celsius.
Right. We were at, 12,000.
Yeah, that's that.
Heating instantly.
1,200.
1,200.
But it might be more, degrees. I mean, down in the crust, I mean.
Right. Heating instantly and then cooling almost as easy.
Yeah. Well, it cooled 4 kilometers below.
Yeah.
These are MIT scientists that said that this morning that we reported, and these are different German.
These guys are in Germany, yeah. They may not be Germans. Yeah. We're not stereotyping, but it's in Germany, right?
Yeah. The lab, yeah. Santorini itself lies in the eastern Mediterranean within the Hellenic volcanic arc, one of the region's most geologically active areas. The island group forms the edge of a caldera created by a colossal eruption about 3,600 years ago, a landmark event in volcanic history.
So that's not that long ago.
It's like a super
in Earth's time.
No,
right? That's not that long ago.
We can remember that. I'll bet you
La Brea tar pits.
Abraham remembers that.
3,600, yeah.
Yeah.
The active underwater volcano Colombo lies in the immediate vicinity. In addition, the region is crossed by several active geological fault zones, which is the result of the African plate pushing northeast against the Hellenic plate. The Earth's crust beneath the Mediterranean region is broken up into several microplates that shift against each other, and in some cases, subduct and melt, thus sourcing volcanic activity.
Yeah. Santorini has produced multiple eruptions it's in historic times, most recently in 1950. In 1956, 2 severe earthquakes occurred in the southern Aegean Sea, only 13 minutes apart.
Wow.
Between Santorini and the neighboring island of Amargos.
So would you consider that second one? Would that be an aftershock or that a new earthquake? 13 minutes. Man.
That's an aftershock, right?
I don't know. That's pretty soon.
Yeah.
And you're probably just gathering your thoughts after the first one.
These had magnitudes of 7.4 and 7.2 respectively, triggering a tsunami.
Yeah, those are pretty big.
Yeah.
The earthquake swarm that initiated in late January 25 took place in exactly this region. During this crisis, more than 28,000 earthquakes were recorded.
Man.
That's crazy. The strongest of these magnitudes of over 5.0. The severe shaking caused great public concern. Really? Yeah, I can imagine. During the seismic crisis, partly because the cause was initially unclear, being potentially either tectonic or volcanic.
The new study now shows that the earthquake swarm was triggered by the deep transport of magma. The chain of events had already begun in July 2024 when magma rose into a shallow reservoir beneath Santorini. This initially led to a barely noticeable uplift of Santorini by a few centimeters.
Wow.
Wow. At the beginning of January 2025, seismic activity intensified, and from the end of January, magma began to rise from the depths, accompanied by intense seismic activity.
I mean, that could start jarring some plumbing and electrical, right?
Yeah,
and
break
foundations.
Pipes and stuff. 2 centimeters, that would break pipes in the ground.
Yeah. However, the seismic activity shifted away from Santorini over a distance of more than 10 kilometers to the northeast. During this phase, the foci of the quakes moved in several pulses from a depth of 18 kilometers upwards to a depth of only 3 kilometers below the seafloor. The high-resolution temporal and spatial analysis of the earthquake distribution, combined with satellite radio interferometry, GPS ground stations, and seafloor stations, made it possible to model the events.
Dr. Marius Iskin, geophysicist at the GFZ and one of the 2 lead authors of the study, says the seismic activity was typical of magma ascending through the Earth's crust. The migrating magma breaks the rocks and forms pathways, which causes intense earthquake activity. Our analysis enabled us to trace the path and dynamics of the magma ascent with a high degree of accuracy. That was a quote.
As a result of the magma movement, wait a minute, the island? I thought Santorini, I guess that's a Greek island, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The island of Santorini subsided again.
So it moved and then went back.
Yeah, that's kind of like remember who was that's lame congressman that thought that Guam was going to tip over because it had so much
it's probably
military.
the dude from Kentucky.
Oh, what was that? What is that guy's
Steve
name?
Something.
Oh,
had a mullet and he was balding. That dude, political
African American guy.
Oh, Al Green?
No. Oh no. This I can't remember his name. I'm losing my mind.
Sounds like Al Green. Something you'd say.
The authors interpret as evidence of a previously unknown hydraulic connection between the 2 volcanoes. Dr. Jens Karstens, marine geophysicist at GEOMAR and also lead author of the study, explains, through close international cooperation and the combination of various geophysical methods, we were able to follow the development of the seismic crisis in near real time and even learn something about the interaction between the 2 volcanoes. This will help us to improve the monitoring of both volcanoes in the future. Could you imagine being on that island when that thing
swarms? I'd be like, this is the end times, man.
Yeah, where do you go?
This is it.
Where do you evacuate to if you're on an island?
You bend over and kiss your rear end goodbye.
I guess. Or get in a boat.
Get in a boat,
tsunami.
With the tsunami, just ride the wave, right? 2 factors in particular enabled the exceptionally detailed mapping of the subsurface. For one, an AI-driven method developed at the GFZ for the automatic evaluation of large seismic data sets. Secondly, GEOMAR had already deployed underwater sensors at the crater of the underwater volcano Colombo at the beginning of January as part of the Multi-Merix project. These sensors not only measured seismic signals directly above the reservoir, but also pressure changes resulting from the subsidence of the seabed by up to 30 centimeters during the intrusion of magma beneath Colombo. That's 30 centimeters, man. That's a lot.
Scientific research activity on Santorini is continuing despite the decline in seismic activity. The GFZ is conducting repeated gas and temperature measurements on Santorini, while GEOMAR currently has 8 seabed sensor platforms in operation. So they're serious about checking out the earthquakes over there.
Yeah, maybe they can collaborate with MIT to figure out, predict, get with Petch, Mathieu Petch.
Yeah, and Hoagie
Ogafari.
Yeah.
The Irish Libyan.
Right.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening to our day on earthquakes.
We'll get you tomorrow.
Take care out there. Thanks.
Remember, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Watch us and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you very much.